Why is it that sometimes reality favours the idiots? Now, there's a couple of good reasons for this, and it's not always the rule, but it can be seen across time, whether that's the guy landing the beautiful girl, but he's got a room temperature IQ, or the guy that is absolutely relentless in business, has a crappy idea, but still manages to get by. So, one of the main reasons is the fact that most people who tend to have a higher IQ are going to want to do more research, more fumbling around with the idea, playing with it in the sandpit rather than actually putting it out there in the world. Now, why this is a bad thing, not always, but most of the time, is that you procrastinate on the action of doing rather than just getting something out there and iterating it off the bench. People will try and perfect a product or perfect something before it's even gone out there. They'll overdo it in the beginning rather than going out there and getting the results. Another reason why people with a sub-normal IQ, or they might seem like they've got no, social intelligence or whatnot, is they've got no ego, or they don't have any emotion about blasting out 100 cold emails or just doing numbers in the DMs trying to pick up a girl. Is they're just doing relentless amounts, that the chances of them getting a result are a lot higher. So what can you learn from this as someone who obviously wants to improve and wants to get there and get the results out, is to take a little bit of that, not all of it, but some of the essence of the room temperature dude, is to go out there and just act for a certain amount of time per week, for a certain amount of options. Just act with your gut, or just go for it and don't even think. Literally switch your brain off and just do the actions, one foot in front of the other. 2, drop the ego. Don't be so stuck up about yourself. You might be intelligent, you might have good grades, you might have good success in other areas of your life, but just take it this way. Sometimes you just got to start back at the bottom of the ladder to learn something new and go out there and potentially embarrass yourself, but just do so much that the chances of you winning are a lot higher. Use your intelligence as a multiplier on top of the action. So go and get the action done and then iterate from there. Use your foresight and your thinking skills and everything else to develop what you've already built, to not waste time for it to sit on the shelf and go off when someone else has put out another thing that may have been subpar but grew over time. This also brings it back to the cringe tax that you've got to pay in the beginning when something isn't so good, or it might seem like it's not top of the range, how you want it to be presented straight away, or you think people are going to judge you because it's maybe not as refined as you want it to be from the beginning. But you've got to pay the cringe tax to go away and then get the progress later. What if you're really struggling to actually put this into action? Well, look up to an idiot. Not a lot of people are going to tell you this, but go out there and maybe take a few tips from someone who might be getting stupid success, as you may call it, and just pick up some tips from them. Look how they act, look how they sort of go into situations. They'll be starting conversations with random people, saying absolutely whatever comes to mind, no filter. Take a little bit of that. Take some of the good points, obviously not the obnoxious bad points, but go about the day with some new skills from someone who might actually, from one side of things, look like a complete total tool. And finally, how to frame it on the fact, the long term, is that what if I didn't do this? Would I regret it on my deathbed? Would 80-year-old me wish I'd have done this, or would he have just brushed it off and carried on? Would it have bothered him? Would he sit there and think, I wish I didn't have done that, or wish I did? Because 9 times out of 10, the risks are generally worth it when it comes to things like putting a gamble on yourself, putting chips on the table and betting on yourself. And this brings it back to the idiot. They put a lot down. They'll go all in on like 50-50 and it will win them back. But high intelligence people will put down 10% here, 10% there, little bets, and hope for a small increase. but these guys are putting it all on the line to win. So I hope you have enjoyed the video, a little bit of a different style from my usual one. And I just want to make sure that I'm giving value to the people, that I'm inspiring others, and also, you know, learning some stuff along the way. Because from making these videos, I'll learn more about myself and also the things that I'm talking about. And I hope you guys are enjoying them as well. If you enjoyed, drop around, stick a like and a comment or a subscribe, and I'll be dropping and replying to my own stuff. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.